Is the magic man, the social and political prophet, coming at you again with another video. Okay, people, I want to respond to Brandon Tatum. I'm responding to his comments about the whole Starbucks controversy where the two black men were arrested because they refused to leave the Starbucks when the manager asked them. They wanted to use the restroom, and the manager told them they couldn't use the restroom unless they purchased something. And so the manager of the Starbucks called the cops. And everybody knows the story, and they were arrested here. Okay. So you may be asking, what is it about what Brandon said that I think is totally incorrect, or that he's being biased about something here? Okay, people, I'm gonna leave the racial thing alone. Because we can argue all day whether this was racist or not racist, and then we can get into whether it's what they call unconscious bias, which is unconscious racism. I don't need to go there, people. People, what I want to argue is what nobody's talking about that much. People, this was bad this was bad management. And it was that manager that made the right decision. And what I disagree with Brandon Tatum on is that he's saying that the Starbucks CEO is a coward and that the Starbucks CEO is not backing up his manager. So people, that's what I want to deal with. I want to show you that Starbucks CEO, he's correct. And people, let me tell y'all something about me. I was a McDonald's manager about over 25 years ago. And also I was a property manager on a church property, a church campus. And I know this church campus, there was preschools and all kind of stuff, and the church had a huge parking lot, and after hours when nobody was there except for me, there would be people that would drive in and park in the parking lot. So I had a lot of experience on asking people to leave, knowing how to deal with those situations when people are trespassing on property, and how to deal with those kind of situations. Okay, so let's come back to the Starbucks thing here. So you may be asking, okay, political prophet, social prophet, what is it that the manager didn't do right here? And why is this CEO not standing? Why didn't this CEO stand by the manager? And why is the CEO of Starbucks saying that the manager didn't handle this situation right? Okay, people. Now, Brandon Tatum and all the critics of the CEO who fired this manager and stuff and said that the manager didn't handle the Starbucks thing right. Okay, they're saying the manager did her job. Okay, she told the two black guys, you cannot use the restrooms unless you purchase something. Now, the black guys said, okay, they were cool with that. They said, but they did say they didn't want to purchase anything. They had water, and they was waiting for somebody to come. Okay, now, people, I was listening to ABC News that interviewed the two black guys. I didn't know this fact, and Brandon Tatum is not bringing this up right here. And this is why the CEO didn't stand by this manager and fire this manager, and why he's saying that they need to review the policy that Starbucks has in place. Okay, people, the guys arrived, they saying, like at 4:35, approximately 4:35. People, the manager called the cops in 2 minutes by 4:37. So people, listen here, people. Listen. What people don't understand, listen. Yes, this manager, as far as she was upholding the policy as far as saying they should not use the restroom. But what Brandon Tatum is not bringing up, the policy is not to just call the cops immediately if somebody is not doing anything wrong. And that's what that's what people don't understand. The problem that the CEO of Starbucks has in this case is that this lady manager, she called the cops so fast, and the guys was not like doing anything violent. People, listen here. Check this out, people. People, listen. Yeah. Now somebody could argue. Yes, they would say, well, why didn't the guys just buy something, or why didn't the guys just leave? Okay, people, I'm not saying that the guys was right to do that, but what I'm saying is, even if the guys didn't leave, then since they were not doing anything violent, should a manager, people, if I was the CEO of Starbucks, I do not want to get a call at such and such time in the morning or whenever at night saying that, hey man, two black guys who were not doing anything violent, they didn't purchase anything in your Starbucks, but they was just arrested by the police after 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, your manager called the cops on two black guys who just said they was waiting for their white friend to come to have a meeting. People, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that two guys were arrested. People, listen. Remember I told y'all I was a McDonald's manager? People, the McDonald's was by a high school. So people, y'all know, when those of you who are parents, y'all know this situation. Sometimes you come in, you may be caught in traffic. So you got a 15-year-old who's waiting to be picked up at the school. So the school has closed. So you tell the 15-year-old, go over to McDonald's and wait. I'll be there in 15 or 20 minutes. People, that happens all the time. And managers don't call the cops. Can you imagine if managers have started calling cops on students? And people, this happens a lot. A lot of schools are by fast food joints like McDonald's, Burger King's, Starbucks, and a lot of students go over and wait. Maybe at the Starbucks, they may not purchase anything, but they may wait there 20 or 30 minutes until the parents come to pick them up. Believe me, people, this ain't normal to just call the cops on students, on people who are not doing anything violent. Now that ain't saying that they are wrong to not leave when you ask them to leave, but does that justify calling the police? People, we got criminals robbing banks, we got people, criminals molesting kids. Those are people we want to arrest, okay? But I'm saying before, I think most CEOs of companies do not want. Listen, people, I guarantee you, the CEO of McDonald's is just like the CEO of Starbucks. They do not want to get a call saying that two black guys or two white guys or whoever, or two high school students who were just hanging in the Starbucks, and just because they didn't leave, but they ain't doing anything wrong, that they quiet, they sitting in the corner like there's two black guys. Listen, I guarantee you that McDonald's CEO and the Burger King CEO is saying they do not want to see somebody get arrested in their joint just because they are hanging out, okay? Now, I'm not saying it's right if you stay there and the manager asks you to leave, but I'm just saying I don't think any CEO want that kind of image where somebody just after 5 minutes of being in your Starbucks or McDonald's, the cops are called if you just sitting in there checking your email. Okay, I see where that's where the CEO of Starbucks is coming from. Now, people, somebody may be asking, well, Magic Man, how do you handle a situation like that? When you ask somebody to leave and they don't leave, but they're not doing anything violent. People, let me tell you, based on my experience, what you do is, people, you wait it out. People, when I told y'all I was a manager on a church campus. So people, after the church was closed and everybody's gone from the preschools and there were some other organizations on the church campus too. After everybody was gone, there'd be an empty parking lot. So a car would drive in and be in the corner. So people, when I first started managing people, I would run out right off the bat and say, you need to get off this property. This is private property. But then people, the pastor of the church told me something. He said, you know what? You need to be careful about that. You could get shot down. He said, you may want to, give them 15 or 20 minutes to see what they're going to do. Maybe they're going to leave in 20 minutes. Maybe they're just checking their email. Maybe they're checking the GPS. They're lost. So they just turn it into the parking lot, check the GPS, see where they're going, and then leave the property. So people, what I would do in those situations, when somebody comes into like a place and you want them to leave, maybe just wait it out. That manager would have been better off. Let's let the two black guys sit there. Since they not now, if somebody doing something violent or yelling and screaming and cursing, you gonna call the cops right off the bat. People, it's better just to wait it out. And maybe they would have left. Maybe when the white guy came, they would have got up and left in 15 minutes. Cause she didn't even give him 10 minutes. She didn't even do a wait out. See, people, that's the reason why that CEO fired that manager. That manager should have waited it out a little bit. Okay, let's see if the black guys are going to leave in 10 minutes. And even the black guys say they told the manager, we'll be up and out of here in a few minutes or so. In a short period of time, whatever that would mean now. Okay, people, so this was not good management, and that's why the CEO, so Brandon Tatum, he's not bringing that up. He's saying that manager handled everything appropriately. No, the manager, yeah, she handled that appropriate about the bathrooms. You cannot use the bathrooms. She told the guys that they cannot use the bathrooms unless they purchase something. That is not why the CEO fired her. The reason why the CEO got rid of this manager is because the manager probably should have just waited it out for at least 20 minutes. She called the cops in 5 minutes. People, I would have never thought of calling the cops on a white person, black person, green person if they just sitting in the Starbucks for 5 or 10 minutes. I'm at least wait it out and see, well, are they going to leave in 30 minutes or an hour? Now, if the guys were sitting in there for 3 hours, that's a different story. She called the cops within 5 minutes. They say 2 minutes. But I'm going to say 5 just to make the story, to make sure I'm getting this right. That manager called the cops within 2 minutes. People, I did something the other day, people. I went into a Starbucks that's by a high school right here. I live in Southern California. This Starbucks is in Granada Hills, California. People, listen, this Starbucks is by high school. So people, like I said before, those of you who are parents know what I'm talking about. A lot of kids after the high school go into Starbucks and sit down for 10 or 15 minutes to wait for their parents to pick them up there. So people, you don't see and most of these kids are white. You don't see any of these kids get arrested. You don't see the manager arguing with these kids. So that's what the CEO is saying. The CEO is saying their policy is for you to use the restroom. It is for you to purchase something if you want to use the restroom. But the policy is not for you to get arrested just for sitting in the Starbucks. That's not the Starbucks policy, people. Okay? Now, I'm not justifying that the guys, if I was in a Starbucks and I was sitting there and the manager say, you need to buy something, I'm going to either buy something or leave. Okay, people? But I'm just saying, that still don't mean the manager should call the cops. Listen, if I'm the police chief, I want the 911 calls that's coming into the 911, the emergency station. I want those calls to be for criminals, not for someone sitting in a Starbucks being quiet in a corner. I do not want to see people getting arrested for that. Okay, people, this is the Magic Man, the political and social prophet signing off. Have a good one.